Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to Skyfactory 4, Episode 6, EthanCraft Episode 7. In the last episode, we progressed our tech towards the applied energistics. We had to get into the alloy furnace and the mechanism in order to get to the applied energistics. So I realized that I have all these resources that I've stockpiled from my saplings, but my machines are extremely slow, and in this episode I did not want to be sitting around waiting for hours for my machines to do its stuff. So this was where I decided to actually start breaking the pack and using the resources to speed things up. This will include like eventually upgrading my power and stuff, but for now just upgrading the speed of the machines. And to do that, if you guys have ever played with a mechanism, if you use speed upgrades in the machines, it will use a lot of power, way more than I have. So you must put energy upgrades first, and then you should make sure you have enough power for the speed upgrades, because they will take quite a bit more than the base number. The base number is like 20 RFs, and then it goes up to like 112 on some of them with max upgrades, even with all the energy upgrades. So in the previous episode we had that awful bug using the other machines that weren't mechanism that corrupted my game. We didn't have any issue like that today. It was beautiful. We were able to just play the game, make some progress. You can see we were processing all the things. We used all the machines and we started making energy upgrades straight away. We really just wanted to get these things sped up because we have all the stuff here, and once I do that, I could start making processing all the materials for the actual crafting for the ME system, because I was going to need nether quartz crushed up in a crusher. Then it had to go through like you had to combine it with sand, and then it would make the pure quartz crystals, and then you could enrichment chamber that, and it was so insane. It's like I was gonna have to literally use every single machine just for one tiny portion of applied energistics. So that's when I realized that I would need to speed up all the machines so I could put a stack in 20 seconds, boom. I decided to turn on my audio from in-game. Let me know what you guys think about that. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about the audio from in-game. People asked for it. Minecraft doesn't actually play music 24/7, I've noticed. It will only start a song every now and then, and there's long periods of nothing. So let me know what you guys think. It was cool. I don't mind it actually in the background. I like the sounds of the machines working, and when they all stop working, it's really funny because you actually know they stopped working, and so it was kind of cool. It felt more like involved, you know? I was in it. Like I started listening to the music for PoE when I play for the videos. I don't normally do that. Hey look, a Minecraft song. So yeah, we had to just make energy and speed upgrades. How you guys doing? Have you guys been doing well? This is some Minecraft like you guys wanted. We brought it back just for you, Kurosaki. Hell yeah, dude. Just like when I gave you mod on Twitch. Just for you, man. Damn, dude, look at how fast it is now. Did you guys see that? The machine's going... That's 8 speed upgrades right there. Ooh, this was when it started to get really juicy, because that was the only thing that I was lacking in my creation of it at the beginning. Then it would be glass next. You can see in my inventory I ran out of glass, and I still have enriched alloy, so I looked in my glass one and put it straight in there. My thought process was get all the things sped up, and the ones that I have the least of, get more so I can quickly go and make a ton. And so I realized that I'm going to have to attach the storage, or like just completely delete the storage and start storing into ME probably next episode, because I cannot keep working out of the drawers, and then I'm gonna have to set up crafting for all that. So it's gonna be quite a lot I have to do in the next few episodes for applied energistics. But here we are to learn. And don't forget, guys, in this pack, for some reason, they decided to delete the channels off of applied energistics too, and so You thought I could do some crazy shit before with Applied Logistics? Well, now I have no limitations, okay? Like, refined storage, not having channels, I will build the stupidest looking ME system you guys have ever seen. Because everything can be connected. Cables are pretty much almost unnecessary, right? Just connect it all. It's so funny. It's so funny. I'll just have a big pillar, you know, and then I'll fly. Yeah. You guys love when I do that shit. Oh, God. So good. So, you can see how fast my smelter is now. It was actually having issues. I put all the speed upgrades in, and then there were no energy upgrades, so it was consuming too much power. And for the, I guess, the cable in the back. Probably not, though. It was probably just my power in general. And everything else just had a buffer and wasn't getting consumed very fast. So I also thought about the inscriber that I have. So the inscriber can only do one at a time, and I have to keep clicking them in, or use a conduit or a item duct from a chest into it, and automate it, and it would be really slow. So I was thinking, what did I do in the past when I wanted to speed up a machine for Applied Logistics 2? Oh, there's the speed up things for that too. Okay, accelerator or whatever. So I ended up making the stuff to make the bigger inscriber, the one that can take stacks of items, and then I was like, ooh, baby, now if I just get those speed upgrades for that, the accelerator, it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. This pack is a lot of fun to play. I've been enjoying the progression. It feels very nice because it doesn't really force you down one way. I felt like I had a lot of options for this pack, and it just said, yeah, you can do whatever you want. There's so many options, and they're all pretty fucking good. But trees, dude, the trees, and this dumb storage I found, and the item that one cable that I found that goes so fast for item transfer. It's amazing. This song's jamming, dude. So nice. Look at all the energy and speed upgrades I had to make for this, because we had like 5 mechanism machines. Each one takes 16 upgrades, 8 of each. It's insane how many I had to make, and obviously it didn't take very long to make them all. Now you could tell the speed of each machine is going up, and then the likelihood of me using all the machines at once right now is very low after they start going really fast, because they finish so quickly, and I don't have a big storage on them because I haven't needed a mass amount of items crafted yet. And it's mostly because I'm not mass crafting out of the storage system anyways that I'm using, the wall of things. So I'm gonna do this temporary manual stack by stack thing, and then I think that leads to the ME system better than doing like mass amounts, because I don't need mass amounts for this for the beginning. I just need the storage so I can put it in, and then once it's all in, it'll be a lot easier to do stuff with, you know. I don't have to keep looking through chests. I don't have to look for the stacks. I don't have to punch the barrels. It'll all just be in the one ME system, which is why we start to really break the pack. That's why we rushed ME, and this is us cheesing the pack, because it's the most enjoyable way to play the game. So similar things to what I'm thinking here is when we play that server on Wednesday for Minecraft, we're playing a Skyblock PvP Wars on Wednesday. We're coming back. There's a reset Wednesday 3 p.m. EST. I'm gonna be on there. It's gonna be sick. I'm gonna do some stuff probably with Cactus, you know, like always, because how could we betray our friend Cactus that has never let us down in the past? The Cactus is the way to the light. We will own the server again with Cactus. It's gonna be great. But this time, we're doing videos, and we're gonna, oh my god, I can do such crazier things because I don't have to stream it. I don't have to give away all the secrets. I can do things in a way that are very entertaining, showing you just the best parts. A nice 10-minute highlight, 20-minute highlight of fucking content instead of boring grinding that you have to watch me do. So it's pretty cool. I'm very excited for that. Do you guys see the goddamn progress I have made on this shit? My mechanism machines are going so fast. We're getting all the stuff ready to go into Applied Logistics as well. We were making, like, the way I thought for today, I watched, because if you guys didn't watch the last episode, we went through all the machines, got them all up, we got all the machines, so we had all the stuff unlocked, and now it was just about speeding them up and actually making the ME now. Yeah, that was, Yeah, it had actually turned out that I started to run out of iron during this process as well. Like, every single resource that I had in my inventory was not enough. I already knew that. I was basically making stuff as I went, and just speeding up the machines that I thought actually needed to be sped up. It was pretty interesting. We kept having to just keep moving stuff around, getting resources. There was a lot of a big process to this. It was a lot to keep up with, but I think I did great in the choice of order that I went. And do I think that automating the machines would have sped this up and made this a lot easier? Well, it wasn't really going to be the setting them up for big amounts. It was mostly just the speed of the machines needing to be increased, and getting all the resources from the chests and wall of fucking barrels. It was actually, I wanted to show you guys this for how it was actually pretty funny how obnoxious this was, but once we get the ME, then we know where we are. We have an ME. We never have to worry about this again. And up to the point of an ME, you'll never be happy with any storage system you ever make until you get an ME, because ME is the final goal. So the fact that you can get ME on the 6th episode of a Skyfactory series, where you didn't play very long, is pretty insane, right? I did it again, boys. 6th day of a pack, I got an ME system. And it was pretty fucking weird. You will see the recipes, they are messed up. The amount of things, literally I spent 5 episodes chasing it. It took me 5 episodes of just unlocking stuff just for an ME system. And, yeah. I was still quite happy with how fast the machines really do speed up, and it was all because I also had already set up the big amount of power in episode 2 or whatever, the big coal power with the coal joke that I made at the beginning. It was pretty funny. Spoiler alert. You're supposed to say that before you say the spoiler, Ethan. Fuck! Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. I didn't say it, actually. I bleeped myself out. Anyways, we have Paul, yeah, so much. We got so much stuff, guys. It's going well. We just had to keep pulling stuff from the drawers, keep making all the things. The extra power you feel. So I had to then go through a few of them that I didn't fully upgrade, because I was just upgrading what I needed at the time. Because imagine, while I'm making all the speed upgrades for one of the machines, I run out of the materials for a different machine, and then I go, well, I need that one sped up now, so I started making them for that one instead. It was still going really fast though after the initial speed upgrades, and it's because I started the episode with a few of the resources already made, because it actually just took a nice 20 minutes of just waiting for them. It was maybe 50 glass I waited, and then across all the things had 50 of whatever. But some of them had to go through 3 fucking processes before you could even use them. It's pretty insane. Yeah, mechanism. But no, also these Applied Logistics 2 recipes are so weird. That quartz one specifically is so weird. And then there was one using mineral, which is why I had to go back and add the mineral thing back to the barrels. I remember I missed that in the previous episode. Somehow I put all the materials from the mineral sapling except for just this mineral chunk. And you need the mineral chunk for Applied Logistics. The only portion I needed is the part I didn't keep until I added it back to the storage, and then I have a ton. Yeah. So I could tell that the Applied Logistics was slow at the beginning, and then I had to make 2 of the diamond processors, engineering ones, so that I could make the next upgrade, and it took 2 hoppers and the 4 iron, and so I was like, oh, that's easy. I already processed a ton of iron through my smeltery and through the enrichment chamber / smelter. That's pretty good. I'm glad I finally moved away from using the furnace, and we're into technology, and the speed at which we're moving is a lot faster. I enjoy tech. I love it. This is why tech is so great. You get to it really quick. And then we could start speeding up the Applied Logistics. I had noticed that the chest had a broken texture, pretty weird looking. in the crafting station, if you guys had noticed that. This was a good episode. Good episode. You guys will see. This is what you guys want. I know it. I also remembered that in this pack, because there's no channels for the ME system, they also deleted the ME controller because it would be misleading, I guess. I don't know. I really like the look of the ME controller. I liked building a giant thing, but maybe they would have had to change all the settings on it, and it was way easier to set up the energy acceptor to do one channel because it already only does like 8, and then, but now I guess they just gave it unlimited maybe. That's probably how it worked. They said unlimited channels, have fun, on the energy acceptor and deleted the ME controller probably. I don't know though, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, switching the setup to an energy acceptor actually confused me at the beginning. I made an energy acceptor at first because, I'll be honest, I thought, because that's how you normally play in every pack, is the energy acceptor is easier than the ME controller, and then it's just, you need it for the advanced inscriber. Specifically, the inscriber doesn't need ME power, it just needs a connection after if you want to automate it, but the actual advanced one needs an ME power, so you need an energy acceptor or ME controller. This pack doesn't have it. I also found it weird that the advanced inscriber saved my recipe even though I pulled out the pattern. It was really weird. Yeah, we started actually making the ME system stuff. It was beautiful. Finally, we can get towards these accelerators and seeing how fast we could start making the ME stuff, and then once we get ME, we can actually start moving our stuff in. And we can see the amounts we have. I wonder what kind of storage I'm gonna have to make. 1Ks, 4Ks, 16Ks, 64Ks, 256K, 1024, 16,000K. Yes, we get all the Ks. It was really interesting that I also didn't have to grow seeds on the ground in water with accelerators like the old times. In this pack, all I had to do was make it in the with the sand and then put it in an enrichment chamber. Like, that was really weird that it was so easy. But I also like this because it's way easier to automate. You could set up the stupid growth chamber usually before, but I bet it won't even work in this one unless it works for different things and they've changed the recipes for that too. And the whole point of this is they've just changed things and it's not actually harder. You just can't rely on the things you already know as crafting recipes. I don't know. But yeah, we got the accelerators, and the speed at which it was working is so fast. I went out of the screen to check the power because I was concerned that a max sped up advanced inscriber would be draining my power. Apparently, we were fine. It was perfectly okay. We weren't using too much power. I actually found a bug later, or not maybe a bug, but like just a very annoying thing. When you use an ME system in this with an energy acceptor, and you try to craft a stack of items, it will not craft the stack. It will break the crafting recipe, and you will only get like 10. And so what I did is I realized it was probably this invisible amount of power buffer in the energy acceptor that was too low, and it can only craft a certain amount from manual crafting. And so the point of it is to add a battery. And so as soon as I added one energy cell to the back of the acceptor, it had a big enough buffer probably that you could craft tons in a single craft, but you can only craft a stack anyways in a single click, so it doesn't matter, and it's just beautiful and nice and perfect now. And that's all you need, one energy cell to turn it into an ME controller basically. I'm sure that there might be issues later with it and big crafting, so I might have to add more power to it I don't know. Just because things like to break sometimes, and energy is good. A battery. Yeah. So it was very nice going from an inscriber and my very slow machines to all the sped up stuff. The advanced inscriber is so beautiful, not having to set up any big chests or anything, and making item ducts or anything, just straight up upgrading the machines from the mod, and it's not even that bad. It's beautiful. It's not, oh well, it's actually an add-on, and I love this add-on. It's beautiful. I use it every time. I remember making like ME controller rings and then putting one advanced inscriber down and hooking it up and automating it. It was so fun. No, I actually had to set up multiple always, but they're really good and fast because you can put more upgrades in it than a normal one. So I did think there was an ME controller, and I'm looking at these Futura blocks, and I'm like, wait, they actually deleted the ME controller? I was actually really sad, guys. I was sad and upset. I was like, wait, I have to live with an energy acceptor this whole pack? I can't ME controller? The heart of an ME system? So then I was like, oh, okay, you just make the other stuff, you go look it up, whatever. And I always make this dumb mistake. Every time I craft ME, I think, yeah, I gotta, right here, I gotta craft so many of these terminals, guys. Yep, terminals. So many of them. No, you just need the stupid panels, and then you craft, like, the terminal as you need it. So there's, in the recipes, the way it works is you're gonna need 2 crafting terminals, and then 1 panel. You keep the 3rd panel, and that makes the... So one of the crafting terminals is your crafting terminal. The other one turns into like the pattern terminal with an engineering processor, and then the last one you turn the panel into the interface terminal by adding it with an interface. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I always make the same mistake. It ends up making me waste like 1 terminal, and I have to make an extra whole crafting recipe just to make the interface terminal later, which is an extra like 2 glowstone. It's so much, dude, and 3 of the quartz glass, dude. Oh my god, how am I ever gonna live with that? So it's pretty bad. Hate wasting materials like that. It's make that same mistake, I swear to god, every time I play. Every time. But I love ME. Do you guys see the recipe with the mineral and mineral chunks and the flux dust? So I had to process the flux crystals from the previous episode through the crusher to get some flux dust to craft up these weird cores that I had to make for the terminals. I started finally getting into ME. I'm crafting all the things. I'm super excited just to get these stupid terminals up, because basically the way this works is all I need is the energy acceptor, a cable, an ME cable, the crafting terminal, the ME drive, some drives to store my stuff, and boom, bang, cha-bang, we're there. We have an ME system. It's really that easy, guys. It's been this easy this whole time. Look, we've been this close to an ME system. Holy. So now we're finally gonna be super happy. We're so close. We just have to craft a few more things for the recipes, and then we can put up, and then we don't even have to make the ME controller. We don't have to worry about channels. We don't have to use dense cables or anything, or the P2P, all that complicated stuff. We don't have to use a memory card. All of it doesn't matter. This is refined storage. Everyone should play this mod pack if they want to play with ME and have never played with it before, because it's too complicated, because this is the easiest it's ever going to get. Have fun. Play with some ME. It's basically refined storage in this pack, but actually good and doesn't break. We can do big recipes and actually have fun in the pack and automate the biggest recipe, the creative stuff, or whatever's in this pack. I don't actually know. I haven't looked. We'll do the late game shit, whatever it is, fully automated through an ME system. It's going to be beautiful. It might break the pack or my computer, but that's what we live for, right? It's not really beat until we can do that final recipe that crafts everything. So I decided that I'm going to put the ME system in the weirdest place, because I know how much everyone loves my great base designs. They're very beautiful, I know, very spacey, not compact, very open, nothing in the way. You'll never have to jump over anything or walk around a big chain of machines or listen to loud key as the machines are working it out, you know? It's pretty interesting, but I decided to just cable under the ground, though. This one time, I've decided to do things not in my way, and I cabled the ME under the ground, and I had to use water, and I honestly was not worried at all. I'm an expert. I grabbed a water bucket, put that in the hole, and then it was easy peasy from there. This is Skyblock, guys. If you need to get down, water is your answer. Just drop a water bucket, and how are you gonna die, right? You just sit in the water stream. You're not gonna fall, and especially when there's still like a 50 block gap, you can get back in the water stream. Come on, just press spacebar, swim up. It's not that hard. I wasn't that worried. It seems super easy. There's 3 streams of it, 3 whole blocks. How are you gonna mess this up, right? Anyways, so I end up waiting for it to drop down, and I can actually just get down there. The only hard part was pressing spacebar to get to the right spot to press it on the actual flex duct instead of being dumb. But, you know, we got there in the end. It all worked out. Beautiful. I actually, like, this episode, guys, you don't even know. This was the most I was able to play out of all the episodes, so this is where I can finally start really playing the pack at the speed I want. No breaks, going, because, especially once you get a me, there's no excuse. You have access to everything. There's no looking around for items. It's just, what do you want to do next? Do your idea, and it's just great content. We're finally here. It's gonna be, I'm so fucking happy for every episode from here, guys. You don't even know. Every episode's gonna be so fucking good. I'm gonna enjoy it so much more because I have ME, and it's gonna come across in the videos. You guys couldn't tell, though, how bad the first episodes were and how long it took me to play, how much time I put in, but it's okay, because that's editing, right? So I decided to do my normal thing with the ME system, where I put the crafting terminal at my height, and I put the other... The idea I have for this pack is actually to put, like, the main terminal that I'm going to be using. I can put as many terminals and stuff as I want because the channels don't matter. It's such an interesting idea that ME's so broken in the pack, but I love it because it's refined storage but working, and I do like refined storage for the no channels because worrying about it is just tedious at a certain point. It's not actually fun anymore because you've done it so many times, and it's the same thing and it just gets annoying. But especially, it makes it hard to play sometimes with other people if they don't understand how it works, and then they can't just check what yours is actually doing, because at any point, no one needs to know what you have done to your ME, because they can go and check. There's ways to see all the connections and see what the channels are and stuff. You would just have to switch the cable. But, yeah, I guess that's too much work, and, this is going to be a lot easier in this pack, but I'm playing by myself anyways. Yeah, it's going to be super exciting being able to finally dump all these goddamn items into it. I'm not sure how much the barrels are going to take for storage yet, because the storage... Like, we have a lot of storage of barrels, and then I'm wondering if I can just have the item ducts going straight to, like, an interface, and the interface will just dump straight into the ME system. It's quite interesting, right? We could really have some crazy amounts of resources going. It's pretty nuts. It was funny, at a certain point I was making engineering processors, and I was like, should I make 16, 32, just make them all, and I put in all 64, and the 62 is pretty funny. I was hesitating on making like a stack of something that I was going to use for sure, and using silicon. Oh no, I can't craft more sand and craft more silicon very quickly through the machine. Like, oh my god, worrying about things that I'm making. Oh my god. We started making the ME system. We're there. This is where we start mass producing exactly the things I need. So that would be the drives and stuff. I was looking. This is. I also realized the stupid panel thing about my illuminated panel that I wasted making a terminal. Poop. So I decided I don't need the interface terminal yet, anyways, guys. Really, because I don't have the crafting stuff set up. It doesn't matter. So I just memed it and put the goddamn interface on the ground. I'm like, there, maybe I'll use it right there. Yep. I won't. There's no way. The use of it is maybe, like I said, inputting from the storage to that. I might bring it over with a cable and then connect it so that I can, like, item conduit out of the barrels into my storage, specifically the barrels I want, since the barrels store their contents, I'm pretty sure, when you break them. I'm not sure about that yet. Might have to test it with a smaller barrel, but yeah, it was super simple. And when I made 1K storage, I looked at the recipe for the cells and I was like, oh, that's not bad. Only quartz glass. Okay, I remember doing that. And don't be worried about making 1Ks in ME, because the way I look at it is when you're making an ME system, the storage cells, you can shift right click and the air with the storage cell in your hand, and it will empty the storage cell and give you the housing back. So you can actually craft up the housing to a higher tier, and you can craft up the 1Ks to a higher tier. So you never actually wasted your resources making the smallest version. So just make the small ones and see how you do. If you need more space, make some more. Especially, there's something very interesting about this time. These is unlimited channels, so the only cost for staying small is the increased amount of ME drives you have to make, the cable, or you don't even have to make more cable because they connect, right? So you make unlimited ME drives, and then 1Ks you have more storage cells that you have to make, because technically when you make a 4K it's still one storage cell and you get 4 times the amount of storage, but you don't get 4 times the amount of storage types. And so there's going to be a perfect number that I'm going to want to make a ton of for a little while, but eventually, once you have unlimited resources and insane crafting and everything, and the processing is really fast, I could just set up crafts to do like the really big ones, because at that point you do just want the biggest storage you can possibly make. Like, why not, right? And then the types are just like the same anyways. But if you have the same amount of the big one as the small one, of course you're going to want the big one instead of the small one. There's no point in mass producing 1Ks when you could be making 16,000 Ks. So that's just my thought on that. Yeah. So we're probably going to upgrade and go with the upgrades of like bigger amounts. But I'm saying you can start with 1Ks and it's not that bad. But yeah, we finally had some rain in the episode. I couldn't believe how long I went playing the pack today without it raining. And then you know what? It rained. You know what I was thinking about? I want to get a machine to change my biome to like a desert so it can stop fucking raining. So it can never rain again. Or, like I do... Okay, so in the past, on other servers and stuff, I've added a roof to my island, just so that it would be completely dark, so I never had to put so I never had to make walls for spawner rooms and shit. And then the other thing, it was for this, you could block out rain. You never have rain. It's so annoying, especially for there was like specific things that needed to not have rain. I don't remember, but yeah. Oh, some solar panels in the desert, guys. That sounds great. We finally got to start using our ME system. We put a bunch of stuff in. We were able to craft out of it finally. You can tell how much quicker it is for me to find things. We had to try to remember the goddamn thing to make it stop raining. Holy, what a ridiculous thing trying to do. I typed it wrong by not putting a space. Like, why is it not both? Toggle space downfall or toggle downfall in one word? Like, why can't it be both, dude? What, is that really going to be some command? Like... But yeah, we were able to make... We started with 4 1Ks, and it stored a bunch of our chests. So then we made another 5 1Ks. And that was going to store like the rest of the stuff. It's really interesting how much the 1Ks actually did for my storage, which didn't include barrels. I didn't do barrels this episode. We'll do that next, because a lot of my resources are now in my storage, so I can upgrade things with the current amount, and I can just take like entire inventories out of the barrels at a time, like just punching them, because I actually have my inventory space, because I don't need to save like 27 inventories just to craft with for the mechanism, the applied logistics, and then the later applied logistics where I literally had to hold on to stacks of items just to craft. Like, it's insane. crafting without ME is the worst. Using chests is the worst. No matter what storage system you're going to use, it's going to feel pretty terrible because of the ways, like, they always have weird things like, oh, the input's really slow back into the system. Oh, you can't auto input, or some other weird stuff. So this is where I also started to notice the thing about the power. It wasn't just the crafting, by the way. When I tried to put mass amount of items into the storage without the energy cell, it was having issues, and I couldn't actually input. So this is where I already had figured out. I was like, oh, just add the energy cell. It was without even having to craft. I already had figured out that I was going to have an issue with the power buffer on the storage. So I was like, yep, let's just get this out of the way right now. Let's see if an energy cell fixes this, because I do not want to play with this goddamn bug for the whole time. Well, not bug, but like very annoying setup of an energy acceptor, how shit it is. Because it's not supposed to be the core of your goddamn... Well, maybe it actually adds a point of using energy cells, haha. But no, even in an ME system you had to. So I enrichment chambered my quartz dust back into the nether quartz, guys. I made a mistake. I had forgot what the step was, but the step was sand, and luckily I did have some sand. So I like the way my ME system's currently set up with the different bar from my actual search bar, by the way. Keeping up my recipes while I'm searching in the ME system is nice. Being able to type while I'm in an ME system is very nice. So I'm going to keep it this way for now. Even though it is different than normal. Drink some water. Hydrate, boys. Hydrate. Hydrate. Drink some water. Enrichment chamber. Okay, we got those. Yeah, so you can tell how much happier I was with the ME system. I started feeling so good crafting with it, and I had to think about where to place it. This is where I also realized that the energy cell and all of the ME stuff could connect, and so I didn't actually need the cable, except for when I was using the terminal. The terminal needs a cable to be placed on because it's the multi-block one, and it needs the cable to rest on. Or else it'll sit on the side of a block facing the block, and you won't be able to use it because it won't be connected. It'll be the opposite. So with the energy cell, I tested redstone to see if I could craft it all. And netherrack kind of looked like redstone when I was crafting it. It was kind of funny, but it was good. I also started using flux, guys. Flux is very good when you're looking at the computer screen all the time. When I'm playing PoE and all these things, it's very good on the eyes, trust me. Flux is good. The only thing I didn't use Flux for right now, because I'm not used to it, and I haven't played I played a ranked game of League, and it wasn't very good. We had a dude who cried about his pick being banned even though he didn't hover it, and no one knew that he was gonna pick it. Like, how is that our fault? And he could only play one thing, but then said it's fine, and then inted, and then repeated to flame everyone, and it was not his fault that he can only play one thing, but didn't tell anyone, and then wouldn't dodge either. And the fact that this is my game that I had to play, and then I'm getting someone flaming me over buying merc treads into... Technically, there's 3 auto attack champions, Draven, Yasuo, and Rengar. But he's not realizing that the Darius technically doesn't actually auto-attack for damage. He stacks up his bleeds and then uses Q and W reset, and then he ulties you for 1 billion damage and kills everyone with the full reset, with the full stacks, because he reset. So he's just going off all game about my merc treads. So I had to mute him. And then you know what? I honored him because he flamed the Pike the whole time, the guy who inted us. And then I was like, dude, I just left. I was like, there's no point in watching, or no point in listening to the endgame chat of them flaming each other. I honored him because I honestly don't care that he was mad about my boots. That's just misunderstanding why. I did switch to Ninja Tabbies later, but that's only because the Draven had 27 kills and was fed as fuck. So yeah, basically, I'm not used to Flux in League yet, so I just didn't use it, and then I played if I play Norms, I'm going to be using Flux to try it out. see if it messes up what I think skill shots the colors are, because it does change the colors of your stuff, so be careful with that. But flux is nice. Point of that conversation. Also, League triggers the fuck out of me. Yeah. When I was moving the items into the storage, I was looking at the magnet because I had to keep walking back and forth. So I was like, hey, will this magnet like pick up things from really far, or how's it gonna work? So I look at the thing of how to turn it on. I powered it up in the battery, in my battery I made a long time ago to make the building gadget, and it has a pretty short range. I'm sure that when you upgrade it, it's gonna be better. But I also found that when you use the magnet and you break stuff, it's gonna keep it with you and keep draining its battery, and the battery was really tiny on the magnet, the one I made, but it was good enough for the thing I was doing at this moment. You could tell that it just moved like 3 inventories of items with me on half of a battery, which was way nicer than moving 1 inventory at a time, running back and forth. I was very, very happy. Once I moved these items over, you know, I was good to go. I don't need to move all the barrels yet, right? I already said that. Now that should be okay. And then I should be able to move mass amounts where the chests were all spread out and like not mass amounts of items. Like I can easily see doing straight up 1 barrel just fed straight into the ME system from where it's sitting into an interface, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Yes. I looked at the upgrade for the magnet. It was Invar and Signalum nuggets. I was like, yeah, I'm not making that stuff right now. I'm putting my stuff in my ME system. I don't need a magnet upgrade that bad. This is good enough, you know. I like going with basic items until I can just go for the best stuff, because I'm sure that the best magnet is going to be insane, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited to try it. Magnets, boys. Let's play with magnets. I want that creative one. Hey, we need a recipe. Add the creative magnet right now. Creative magnet, boys. We need to tweet at them. Who made this mod pack? We need to tweet at them. Make the creative magnet recipe. Yeah. Torturino. Cheese. I felt so good finally being able to tear down all this stuff and having all the open space again. It shows like all the early game stuff that I did. I get to clean up, I get to remove, I get all this space back, then I can actually work around the ME system. I specifically put the ME system there because it was right next to my machines. It makes the most sense at the current moment, and I can build my other machines wherever I want from here on out. But the beginning, I don't have flight, I don't really have great movement, I don't want to be running all around. I want my stuff to all be in one place because it's going to be the easiest way to work. The looks of the stuff doesn't exactly matter, to be honest. It looks better when it's all in one place, so you're not running around like a fucking idiot. Yeah. So I looked at my items in my storage and I was like, damn, look at all this cotton. It can make wool. Look at all this goddamn other bones. Look at all the silver. Look at all this. And then I was like, wait, I'm not going to do this. I'm done. I'll do this later, boys. Not wasting your time. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you later.